Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be unboxing some new MVP stuff and some House of Disc stuff. Most of the discs in these boxes are just restock. I figured I would just continue to make videos like this because it seems like you guys really enjoy them, and it's always fun to see what a disc golf store owner gets in their orders. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll start off with the MVP stuff, and then we'll go to the House of Disc stuff next. All right, getting into the first box of MVP stuff, we have, interesting, this is all MVP stuff because I could tell by the black rims, but let's start from left to right. Interesting. All right, on the left, it seems like we have a lot of Proton stuff. I don't really know what it is. I have first 8 Proton waves. Funny enough, waves have been really hard to come by, it seems. I had a solid amount of fission waves. I'm not sure. I just haven't been really able to restock them. And since the wave is super popular, as soon as I saw the Proton waves on their order form, I bought a few of them. I've never felt a Proton wave before, and I've actually never even seen the stamp. I'm not sure how long it's been since they've stocked them or allowed store owners to order them. But based on first looks, they are pretty flat. Seems like pretty standard of a wave, and the plastic is feeling, I don't know, I felt like it would feel stiffer than usual. Here's a nice blue one. Also got a cool orange one. Ooh, this one definitely stands out to me. Very clear, you can see me right through it, and it's interesting. These are a lot flatter than I was expecting. If you compare these to other waves that are like neutron or fission, they're a lot domier, and I'm honestly not sure how that impacts the flight, but I would assume that the flatter ones are a little bit more stable comparative. But basically got all these in similar colors, some lighter weight, 166 gram, 164 gram, another 165 gram one, and I got a few max weight ones, 173. So yeah, Proton waves. Some people have been claiming to love the Proton plastic, so figured I'd get some of those in. Next, in the box, I have a few more Proton discs. I got a few Proton Teslas, and actually this one's a really cool color. This one's kind of like violet swirl. This one is surprisingly a little domey. Normally Teslas, or at least the most ones, you could probably hear it. Mostly the ones I've seen have been really board flat and typically are super overstable. The only ones I have seen that are not board flat are fission Teslas. They actually have a ton of dome, and I've heard that they are pretty flippy and straight. So cool to see that this one has a little bit of dome. I'm still presuming that these are pretty stable, but who knows with this dome. All 3 of these have a little bit of dome to it, so could be a little straighter. Next, what else did I get? I have a healthy amount of trails. Trails, if you've seen my videos before, have been selling really fast. Seems like the people really love the trail. With flight numbers of 10, 5, negative 1, 1, it's kind of like the ideal disc for players, honestly, of all skill levels, because for like the novice thrower, it could be like their first introduction to a distance driver. For the intermediate and advanced player, it could be, or intermediate coming up on the advanced level, it could be a disc that gets tons of glide and a little bit extra distance comparative to other distance drivers. And for the advanced player, it's a nice little hyzer flip, dead straight kind of disc, or hyzer flip to slight turn. Interesting enough, so I got a little bit of a small stack here, and it seems like these came out pretty flat. The last order I got were all super domey. So far, these all look pretty flat. I mean, it has slight dome to it, but a lot flatter. Especially, I think this one's probably the flattest of the bunch so far. This one, very little pop top to it. This is probably my 5th or 6th time restocking the trail. Happy to do so, and I'm glad it's such a popular mold. This one is a little bit domey, as you can see, comparative to the others. Let's see, compared to this one. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but this one is definitely a little bit more pop-toppy than this one. From what I remember, the first time I ever got a trail and tested it on camera, it was pretty flat. It wasn't board flat by any means, but flat kind of like this. And it was kind of stable. And then I've heard though from other people that domier ones like this are much more flippy and get a little bit more glide. So these are probably more favorable for people of slower arm speeds, and these slightly faster. Or if you're just looking for a more stable one, you get a flatter one. If you're looking for a more glidey one, get some dome to it. But that's just me. I wouldn't necessarily quote me on that. But yeah, cool to get restock of the trails. And then lastly, in this box, we have some spins. Spin is definitely a disc I was always pretty excited to stock. I feel like when I first ordered some spins, they sold out really fast. And then I tried to reorder them. They were already out of stock on MVP's order form. So as soon as I saw it on their last release, I figured I'd get some. Spin, for those of you that don't know, understable putter. I feel like there are not many understable putters that I know of that like a ton of people bag. So the only one I know that I personally bag is a Fierce. Another one is kind of like a Mirage, but Mirage is kind of really understable. The spin flight numbers are 2.5, 4, -2, 0. So it's not ridiculously understable. It's still like a controllable hyzer flip to drift instead of just dumping to the right. Figured I'd get some of these in so people can try them out and test out some understable putters. All right, we got the next box here. Let's take a look at what's inside. All right, this has a mixture of Axiom, even some Streamline and some MVP stuff. So that's kind of exciting. Let's get straight into it. Seems like the first 3 discs in this box are glitches. If you haven't seen my previous video, you should go check it out on the top 10 selling discs of February 2025 for my store. The glitch officially made the list, and it is no surprise. Got a few of these back in stock. Let's see what we have here next. Servos. So servo also, in my opinion, one of the more underrated MVP molds. Basically the slightly more overstable brother to the Crave, with flight numbers of 6.5, 5, -1, 2. In my opinion, if you like to throw flat or you feel like the Crave is just a little bit too understable, the servo is definitely your go-to. It'll push straight for a long time and get a little bit of fade at the end. And funny enough, all of these are pretty flat. It's funny because in the recent unboxings, if you've followed along in this channel, notice that actually MVP has been releasing stuff that's like super domey. And originally, when I first started ordering from them about a year ago, all their stuff was flat. And that happened consistently for the first 3 or 4 or 5 orders. And then all of a sudden recently, their stuff has been coming out domey. But most of the stuff I've seen is really flat. So if you know about disc manufacturing, I'd love to hear it. But let's see, getting into the next set of discs, seems like we have some Axiom Electron stuff, and it is all Electron Soft Envies. Electron Envies are definitely one of the more popular discs on the market, or I should say popular putters on the market, and actually just discs on the market in general. I feel like a lot of people like throwing this or throwing like Electron Envies instead of proxies because they fly very similar. They go fairly dead straight and land very similar to a proxy. And then if you have like a premium plastic Envy, like a Neutron or a Neutron Soft, it's like a very good overstable complement to this. And also, besides throwing, a ton of people love putting with them. That combo honestly makes for a really great mold. You could throw it, you could putt with it, and it seems like we got a lot of cool colorways in. Pink with the swirly red rim. Most of the putters I get in are max weight, but I do throw in the occasional lighter weight disc as well. And yeah, it's cool to restock some of the Electron Soft Envies. Let's see what we have here next in this box. Also have some more Axiom stuff, and I have some Neutron hexes. I bought a small amount. I have a ton of hexes in the shop right now, and these came out, looks like super board flat. Very cool colorways though. Got the orange, kind of like marmalade, kind of like mustardy orange with the green lime swirl rim. The neon green with the blue rim. It's interesting because Literally the last time I ordered some hexes, like 5 of them came out just with some mega dome. So I was kind of curious to see how those flew, but you can't go wrong with the typical flat hex. It's a disc that'll get plenty of glide, fly straight forever, and honestly, one of the further flying mid-ranges on the market right now. We have a few more molds, it looks like. I wonder if these are all the same. And they are. I got 6 Neutron Soft Envies. This is a disc that is very popular at my store. It is partly due to the fact that soft Envies are really overstable. So with the flight numbers of 3302, the Envy is typically a pretty solid, stable approach putter or throwing putter. And in this Neutron Soft plastic though, it is just slightly more overstable than the typical Neutron Envy or Eclipse Envy or Proton Envy. And so a lot of people like using these for wind shots, or if you have a little bit more power, more torque, you'll throw a soft Envy and get that same flight. And it looks like all of these are pretty flat and white, funny enough. If you don't know, as a disc golf store owner, for the majority of places that I order my discs, I have essentially no control over colors or exact weights that I can order. Generally, it's within a range of weights and the colors are just completely random, unless specified in like notes where you really want something specific for a customer or something like that. But you can't order everything individually like, oh, I want this many of these Envies and I want some servos to be this color and so on and so forth. So interesting part of being a disc golf store owner if you didn't know already. But got another white one with a blue rim. And this rim is pretty sweet as well. It's kind of like a jade aqua swirl rim. And then actually lastly, so I got 5 of those. Got another mega swirly Envy. This is honestly, I've been lucking out on some of the swirly colors lately, so I can't complain. I believe in my last unboxing of MVP, I had a really swirly purple Envy. I had a lot of eyes on it. A lot of people were looking to get it and basically sold out instantly. So if you're watching this video and you want this, you could snag it right now. The fact that the regular Neutron stuff can be so swirly is very appealing because I personally think it looks nicer, looks cooler, more unique comparative to the Cosmic Neutron stuff. Those were soft Envies. Those were the next discs in this box. And lastly, funny enough, speak of Cosmic Neutron, I believe they are all Cosmic Neutron lifts. This is a disc I've actually been waiting to restock. It is something that was really popular at my shop. I would say it is arguably the most popular Streamline disc I have sold, if not the most popular. And it's for good reason. With flight numbers of 9.5, -2, 1.5, it's eerily similar to the Insanity. But from what I've heard, it is a little bit more understable comparative to the Insanity. And typically, the Insanity is board flat, kind of like this, or not like that servo, kind of like this servo, even flatter than this. And you could clearly see that the lifts are a little bit more domey, so probably a little bit glidier and want to flip over and be a little bit more understable, but that's probably why a lot of people like throwing lifts. I have this purple peach swirl as well, kind of reddish cream swirl, cool one right here. Greenish orange swirl, a nice teal green, and this one's like kind of like green raspberry swirl. But that currently does it for the MVP unboxing. For those of you that are keeping up with the MVP newsletters, there is also the release of the Eclipse Watt, Eclipse Wave, the Neutron range in the stock stamp forms, and lastly, there is the Silva Saarinen Particle Glow Proton Proxy. I believe it's also a soft proxy. So that is something that I also have. And I sadly can't show you that in this video. However, I'm going to be coming out with a review of all those discs pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. That'll be in a very exciting video. Yeah, and then also there is the Color Glow Eclipse Waves, which are the brick and mortar edition. So those are discs you'd actually only get at my store, unlike previous releases where you can only get one of the brick and mortar, you could actually come in and get as many as you like. Color glow plastic, I must admit, is going to be a pretty cool hit for the Eclipse Waves. You won't be able to get those online, so it is something that I'm personally going to be very excited for. I can't wait to try those out and see how the Eclipse Waves fly in that color glow plastic. But let's get to the last box and see what I got. All right, lastly, we got a small box from House of Discs. This is meant to be, actually majority of these discs in here, I believe, are going to be newer releases. And so it's pretty exciting stuff. Let's show you what I got. All right, looks like in the big front of the box, it's actually one of the few discs I actually am restocking for my store. And it is K3 Bergs. Berg, can't go wrong. Very popular in all plastic forms at my shop, but especially the K3. I've heard that a lot of people like putting with K3 Bergs. Let me know if you putt with the Berg. I'd be very interested. I think I've only seen 2 or 3 guys ever putt with the Berg, so very interesting stuff. But got a pink one here, a white one, a couple blue ones, a blue with a black, and a blue with like a silver sparkle, and then an orange one. Cool to get some Bergs, but on to the next set of discs. So these, I think, should all be new from here on out. I believe the next 6 discs in this box are the Horizon PDs, and this is to commemorate the 3 DISCMANIA winners of last year, or the stamp, I should say. It was Nicolas Antila at the Open at Austin. Gannon Burr won a bajillion events last year. And Ella Hansen, I'm forgetting, oh, she won OTB Open, I believe. So it's to commemorate those 3 on their wins last year. And if I'm being honest, right now, based on first-hand feel, it feels pretty amazing. It feels really good in the hand, and the stamp also is very cool. There was very limited amounts of these, so I ended up getting just a few red ones, which you can see here, and a few yellow rimmed ones. So these are the exact same, just yellow. And these are just really flat. So I'm kind of interested to see, especially in that Horizon plastic, if it's super overstable or if it's a straighter flying PD. Stoked to have some of those in. The next discs I have in this box. This is definitely one of the more exciting releases as well. It is Neo Function. I wasn't able to get any forged functions in, and I've been recently getting a lot of comments about wondering whether I'm going to get the functions in a regular stock stamp, and I'm excited to finally have these in store. For those of you that don't know about the function, it is Gannon Burr's roller disc of choice. The flight numbers are 86 -41, and if you watched any Jomez coverage or any Gannon Burr throwing this year, he would just throw it on some hyzer. It would flip over perfectly to a roller angle, and he'd probably use it for rollers that went 400 to 450 plus feet. It was pretty cool. And so that generated a lot of interest. I have a bunch of different colorways. I got the white. It seems like I have a pink one here. I have some like light blue. I have a blue one, another light blue, and a couple more, or maybe these are kind of pinkish and the other one was reddish, but very cool to get these in. The last part I have in this box, it is a specific set of discs, and it is definitely, I would say, one of the more anticipated releases of this year, and it is the DISCMANIA Gannon Burr Flex 2 D-Line P2X. For me, I've actually never felt a P2X before, and with the Huck Lab stamp, you can't really go wrong. It is definitely a disc that is very exciting to see in person. To me, these honestly feel very similar to PA3s from Prodigy, or actually, it's slipping from my head, a Sonar from DGA. And they have like that slight puddle top, and they have this like boxy edge. Very significant change in the parting line from here to here. It's just like goes here, here, and then obviously cuts in kind of randomly and has a nice bead on the bottom. It seems like there are no stock runs of the P2Xs available, so this is what I have. These actually won't be available till March 12th, so stay on the lookout for these. I got a few blue ones with red stamps, it seems like, and I have a couple pink ones with the silver star holographic stamp. I have a couple purple kind of swirly ones with the light purplish shiny purple stamp. And then lastly, I have some yellow. This one's kind of like a yellow-green swirl, honestly, and this one's yellow. Yeah, excited to have those up at my store and on my site. I mentioned earlier in this video that I actually can't pick colorways from certain companies. Funny enough, House of Discs, and if you guys don't know House of Discs, it is a big company that now controls the distribution of DISCMANIA, Latitude 64, Westside, Dynamic Discs, and Castoplast, so 5 different disc golf manufacturers. And you are allowed to pick certain colors, but for example, for these Flex 2 D-Line P2Xs with the Huck Lab stamp, I couldn't get any white ones, as you can see, because those run out super fast. So there's pros and cons to being able to pick your own colorways, I guess, because for like 90% of the molds, you could pick your colors. But then for like these special releases, it's rather difficult to get colorways that are more popular comparative to others. But it's pretty cool that you're able to pick your own colors. The only downside, I would say, with House of Disc, besides the popular colors running out quicker than others, would be the fact that there's not really many lightweight options for certain discs. For example, the functions I just ordered, they come, I believe, in like 170 to 175, but they don't come in weights usually, or they don't even offer weights that are much lighter than that. I can check here, but I believe most of the stuff will be in the 170 to 175 range. It's an interesting take. I wonder if it's just difficult for them to be able to process certain colors at certain weights, but besides that, that kind of does it for this video. If you want to check out any of these discs besides these P2Xs, I will have them out on my site right now as you're watching this video. So if you want to check them out at www.discone.com, feel free. I'll have it linked in the description below. That concludes it for this video. I really appreciate you guys for watching. It really means a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be a huge bonus, but I appreciate your support as is. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.